Welcome, you have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's recap is from Season 3, Episode 4. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this episode, it picks up right where the last episode ended, where Tabitha, the police officer, and the two EMT ambulance tech are at where the tree has stopped over. Of course, Tabitha tried to warn them, and it'd been nice to see if they push through, and then, but we know for plot purposes to keep the story going, of course, they don't push past the tree. They drive off, and Tabitha's trying to warn them. By this time, uh, by this time, it's getting dark, and Tabitha told them it's a town ahead. They like, we're just trying to get them back on the highway, and she says, "It's a town ahead. Just keep pushing forward. We get some help there." Meanwhile, in the episode, you have Jay, Christy, and Kenny. They off in that area where they was getting fruit and vegetables and stuff, and they just conversating. And Kenny's writing a letter to his mom, and Jay pretty much said, "I'm up to," and pretty much told your mom, that letter you write and tell her we all said hi. Kenny said, "My mom liked you." And so they start hearing some like things outside. Now, keep in mind, last episode when they went to get the device to, well, they went to get uh help Chrissy to get the bear trap off of her ankle. They remove something off of one of them talismans that keeps the night crawlers away. So they hearing something out there, and so we're gonna see what happens with them. But that was pretty much their episode. Then you have Victor and Sarah, and of course, uh, Victor and Sarah's in their house, and Victor pretty much said, "This is the house we came to when we left my dad." And basically, she said, "Well, why am I here?" And he pretty much said, "You're the scariest person in the town, so why not to remember what I need to remember to help everybody? See some scary things, and I don't want to do this by myself. So we need to go to the basement and build a fort and story tell." So he goes through. He's reminiscing when he was a kid, and when he woke up that morning and was going through the town, he was seeing different people he once knew, and he took was taking their like a memorabilia. Like one guy had a watch, and then somebody else had something, stuff like that. So that was his episode, and Sarah was there to push him along, even when he got scared. So the main action was Tabitha and them. So Tabitha and them ends up uh, pulling into town. Now, before they pulled into town, Ethan received the phone call. He answered it. It was Thomas. Pretty much said, "Mom is coming in an ambulance. You're gonna have to be brave and not be afraid. She's gonna need help." So Jim came in. Jim seen that, and Jim was like, "Who you talking to?" And he wouldn't say nothing at first, and then he said, "It was Thomas." And then Jim snatched the phone off the wall. Of course, there was no cord to it anyway. And he said, "What did he say?" He said, "Mom's coming back. Mom's alive, and she's coming back in an ambulance or whatever." So now Jim's sitting there with Julie and Ethan or whatever. So now the ambulance pulls in, and keep in mind Boyd and Randall is on the bus, and they're waiting to see the night crawler so Boyd can catch one. So Randall is pretty much discussing night crawlers he see every night. They do the same thing every night or whatever. So when the ambulance pulls in, they see a body on the ground. Of course, they want to get out and help. Tabitha's trying to warn them, like, "Listen, you're gonna die. Don't go out there." They're not paying attention. Of course, so the cop takes and locks Tabitha to an armrest thing in the ambulance. Meanwhile, Victor's dad is he's on he's kind of like had a concussion, and he's laid out in the ambulance. And of course, the ambulance guys get killed. The cop comes out, and she's just shooting wild, and then she runs off. So now Jim is pretty much saying, "Listen, uh, because Boyd and Randall came up to the house, so Jim was pretty much like, hey, if um if my wife is out there's a chance my wife out there, I gotta come and save her." So he goes into the ambulance, open the ambulance up. Of course, he sees Tabitha, braces Tabitha, and kisses her or whatever. But of course, she's locked, chained to the armrest thing in the ambulance. So they need the tools to break it out. So what happens is Jim asks Boyd, "Where's your keys, your tools, or whatever, so that you go open the cuffs off?" And so he said it's in the it's on a bus. So Randall was like, "I'll go get it." So Boyd was like, "No, don't do it." So nevertheless, remember Randall has been having hallucinations. So what took place when he went on the bus to grab the tools, he started hallucinating those cicadas or whatever. So when he got back, he seen the night crawlers surrounding him, and he threw Boyd the bag, and then Boyd told him, "Hey, go run back and get back on the bus." And so the cicadas, he was hallucinating the cicadas being over him, so that stopped his motion, and he just fell on the ground. Meanwhile, Boyd drove the ambulance, so he didn't have the keys. So he's looking for the keys, and one of the night crawlers came with the keys and pretty much was like, "Here, you can have the keys, but you're going to have to give us Randall." So he had to make a choice. So of course he left Randall, and Randall was like, "Boyd, you piece of you ain't come back and help me," pretty much. So Boyd drove up to the house, but before that, the cop made it up near the house. Was shooting all wild, shooting the night crawlers, and shot in the house and hit one of the girls in there named Nikki. And then of course Christy's girlfriend was there, and she tried to help her. She did try to help her, and she got the bullet out. And so they finally let the cop in, and the cop was like, "I didn't mean to do it," and she was frantic or whatever. She put her gun away, and then Boyd and Tabitha and Jim finally made it up there. And so um, I forgot what the black guy with the little afro that's been hallucinating, seeing stuff. I forgot what his name is, but he was sitting there with Tully, and then he starts seeing like another dead body, talking about "help me" or whatever. So he on some sixth sense type time, and so Nikki ended up dying. Boyd was flipping out, and so snapping at the cop like, "See what you just did?" And so said, "Would you just get scared and just start shooting anybody or shooting anybody?" So Donna told him like, "You need to get upstairs right now." And so Boyd was like, "I'm not full on lecture." But when he got there, Donna pretty much was having a nervous breakdown. Like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. So uh, Fatima, she wanted to see the dead body. Like, this is my girl. I wanted to, see her passing. She get there, and they just tearing Fatima's character all up. So she's up um, in the room with the dead body, looks at the hole where the bullet was, pressed in the hole, and now drinking the blood. I'm like, so she's gone. I don't see her making it out this season. I'll be shocked because I don't know how you do all that. Or at least the baby's gonna be affected by that. She's eating food, waste food that's a waste, and now she's drinking blood. Like, that's too much. They doing too much with her character. And so it ended with her pretty much drinking the blood. Um And of course, Tabitha has yet to tell people the guy that she came in with, that's Victor's that's Victor's father or whatever. So the episode pretty much ended with the night crawlers dumping Randall's body on top of the ambulance. And what they did was they didn't kill him. Say what they want to do is break Boyd and cause dysfunctions because Boyd left him. So they didn't kill Randall, which Randall is going to hold Boyd responsible. Like, you left me out here and look what they did to me. Like, I'm living, but look what they did to me because you left me. And because what they did was they just scarred Randall pretty bad on his face, where he have a big scar on his face, but he's still alive. So that was the episode. So it was a decent episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.